Hello, this is Fenster from the Round Stable. I'm here with Main 6. Please introduce yourselves.
I'm Leedin. I'm an animator and I help out with design.
I'm Jay. I'm an animator, primarily. Help out with the programming and design sometimes.
I'm Nappy. I do all the programming. All the major programming.
All the programming, yeah. Come on.
A lot of the animation and design.
And we're here at Canterlot Gardens. Now, as you all may know, Main 6 has a new build at Canterlot Gardens, and they had a tournament. And so let's start things right off. You know, you guys had a tournament going on. Were you satisfied with it? What were your expectations? Were you happy with it? And, you know, were you satisfied with the new character RD and how she did in the tournament?
Oh, lots of questions.
Yeah, I'd say we were satisfied with it. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, there was a huge delay at the start of the tournament. Completely out of our hands, unfortunately. We feel really sorry for that, but once we were going, the tournament was great. It's awesome to see everyone sticking with us, even after the big delay. People not just there for the posters, you know, and just everyone getting along, everyone helping out, sharing controllers, helping everything get set up. It was awesome. Everyone pulled through to make it just fantastic.
Just an amazing experience having so many people genuinely excited for something you've worked on. I mean, it's being streamed. You're there commentating it. You know, it's this whole event. It's unreal.
Yeah, you guys, actually speaking of like the fan reaction, like you guys have gotten such a big reaction, you know, just now, and you know, all sorts of fans all over, and you know, like, you know, how did you guys expect to get anywhere near this big, you know, like, because you got like,
nope.
Because you guys are like the biggest fan game, the biggest thing in the fandom probably by now, you know, aside from anything show related, you know. I hope you guys aren't letting it get to your heads, you know.
No, yeah,
we not at all. I mean, you've been hanging out with us. I mean, hopefully you haven't letting it get to our heads. But
we did not expect any of, you know, the type of reaction that we got, you know, especially in the beginning when we posted our first little tidbit with a little Applejack testing on the stage. The reaction was huge. We were blown away. We were like, whoa, you know, and that kind of, you know, made it something a lot, you know, it solidified the seriousness of the project, and it made us really want to make a fantastic game that people deserve.
We've got something here, sort of. So it resonates with so many people so many more people than we thought.
Yeah.
Something about it. So yeah, we love it. It's incredible. Like the doors it's opened up for us and stuff. None of them paid, but like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, I'm
paid us in love.
Yeah, but I'm from New Zealand. I'm here in Ohio, hanging out with my mates from Maryland. I've been working with for the last year and a half, and got flown out here, and it's just been awesome. Meeting heaps of people, so cool.
You know, it's just hard to imagine how big the reaction is, because if you remember, like 1 year ago, you had like a GamePro magazine, you know, featuring your game, and you've also gotten some other coverage. Like, you guys are just getting a lot bigger, not just from, you know, fans, but also from the staff in a show, and, you know, some game companies and other people. Just your game gets bigger and bigger. You know, like, if you have a message for them? Like, is there anything you want to say to those guys? You know, like
Well, first of all, thank you for sure.
Yeah.
Like, for even looking in our general direction.
Most fan projects don't get nearly as big, you know.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't think we'll ever stop being humbled about it. Like, it's just awesome, you know. Like, people are wanting our autographs. It's like,
yeah,
what?
It's crazy.
Like, we're just dudes.
We're
you know?
Making fan art.
We're not important.
I mean, I know they just want to sort of have something to take away, but yeah, it's like, yeah, the game is important, you know. Like, play the game, enjoy the game. We try a reasonable fan presence, like we try and hang out on the forums, the good forums at least, and Anu, who's not here today, he just does an incredible job, like trying to keep up with everything and all the emails we get. We just want to say thanks to everyone who's supporting us.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
And just thanks for sticking with us too, because I know that sometimes it's just exciting because it's novelty, but we're trying to make it exciting because it's a good game.
Yeah, we're trying to bring it past the whole fan thing and make it a solidified game that's, you know, that stands on its own and
people anywhere can enjoy
in a solo environment.
It might not happen, but we had a stream last night of the tournament with 8-way run sponsored with
yeah,
Jaxel.
8-way run is a professional stream in the fighting game community.
Yeah.
I mean, Jaxel was an awesome dude.
Awesome.
Really liked hanging out with him,
and
yeah.
Actually, speaking of, you know, the fighting game community like getting bigger with making a game that's actually, you know, really good on its own merits. you know, like, how big do you think this game will, like, be within, once you actually are done with it? Like, do you think this will actually cause a scene? You think, like...
No idea.
I can't imagine.
No idea.
We can
You couldn't have we couldn't have predicted this. So
Yeah.
I mean,
we
yeah.
can shoot for the skies, but we still have absolutely no idea where it's going to go.
The truth is, it doesn't really factor into it because we're still making the game that we wanted to make
That's true.
a year and a half ago. I mean, nothing much
Yeah.
has changed in that respect. There's still
We want to
gonna
make
be
it fun.
We want to make it good.
Yeah, make it
yeah.
nice.
If it's good enough, it'll create its own environment, you know, of awesomeness around it.
Yeah, if enough
That's all we want.
There's
people
honor.
enjoy it, they'll keep it alive themselves as well.
Friendship.
There's honor in that, friendship and honor.
Yeah.
It was just really funny because, like, a year ago you guys were joking about, you know, we'll have this make us with the Evo, you know.
I know, I know,
Like,
yeah.
it was a joke.
I know, it wasn't even a joke, it was a half
Just stop
serious.
making this joke. It's just making me sad. And then Evo happened.
Yeah, we got hold of Mr. Wizard, just like that.
Then maybe next year, maybe there could actually be a tournament, you know.
I wouldn't be surprised, honestly. They've got a lot of indie tournaments there, but
Yeah, a side tournament for sure. That's something I want to shoot for.
that would be
At this
awesome.
point. Like, I mean,
I think
I
the
can't
hype.
believe I'm saying that.
I know, yeah, what are you doing, man?
Come on.
But like the hype is there clearly, like, you know, just from yesterday's tournament, and everyone who stuck around till 11 at night, from 12 in the afternoon to 11 at night, 12 hours, man. And how many rounds? Just hundreds
I don't
of
even know how
rounds.
many rounds.
We had like 80 something people.
Mhm.
We had to change it from a double elimination to a single elimination, but still, you know, everyone got a chance to play the game. There's some casual stuff going on today, and just everyone's so excited when the rounds were close. You know, just cheering from the room and stuff.
Everyone's super hyped for the game.
Yeah, it's
hype.
cool.
Genuine.
It was awesome.
Oh, it was good to see Rainbow Dash being played too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Maybe too good.
Getting more specifically for the development of the game, like, I want to go into, like, all of you are animators, you know, obviously. I'm pretty sure you all are.
Yeah, we all
Yes, we're all animators.
All the ones here, yeah.
And
the animation of the game.
just one question about, like, do you guys, I think you guys said before that you pull in, you guys look at the show's animation, try and get ideas from there, and use that for the basis of your attacks in the game. I just wanted to know, like, what is there like a criteria used? Like, what makes you look at a certain thing in the show and be like, hey man, that's going to be a good move?
Oddly, we look at the show for inspiration of the general methods for how they do things, like how do they rotate a face, or what does the hair do when you turn it around in the same shot, or how far does it go down the body. But most of the stuff we do isn't in the show in any real form.
Mhm.
We just kind of think of the characters, how they act in the show, and then go, how would they do a heavy attack? What would be cool? You know, would they just get down and dirty and do it themselves? Would they use an object? What are their powers? You know, they're unicorn, Pegasus, Earth Pony. That's about it, really. A lot of the references aren't directly from the show.
Character personalities, they fit into that.
Personalities.
It just seems like some characters have a lot of references, like Pinkie Pie. I think a lot of her moves seem directly inspired from the show.
Oh yeah, there's a couple of like that, but we've got to exaggerate them and
Yeah,
play them to the
Pinkie
next
Pie's
You really
got
have to
some
go
zany
pretty far
stuff.
with Pinkie Pie
Pinkie
because
Pie's
she's
is-
Pinkie.
Mhm.
She's a zany character. We really wanted to do homage for that character, so we wanted to keep it real zany.
Like
Real
obviously the
cute.
main one is the charge back forward cartwheel. which
Yeah,
is
the
one she does
cartwheel
to
that
bounce
everyone
off.
on the planet was like, that has to be in Fighting Magic.
And they were right.
Yeah,
And they were
of
right.
course,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was something we at least knew as well.
Of course, one of my favorites, the
Finger.
finger.
Yeah, the finger's cool, but I mean that's not in the show as
well,
a move.
It's in the
Well,
show.
it's in the show, but it's not.
Exactly,
it's not
so
an
it's a
attack, but
reference.
it's like,
It's a
hey, she
reference.
had that.
So you're
But
taking
sometimes
liberties,
that's
of course.
kinda weird.
Yeah, lots
Yeah.
of we have to. Yeah.
I mean,
It is a fighting game about ponies. So.
It helps.
Yeah.
Yeah. It helps to display the characters and to make them feel as if they're within the universe.
Actually, speaking of like animation, there's some things we run into just with the pure physical makeup of a pony makes
Yeah.
things really hard because you can't
yeah.
punch really. I mean, Applejack can't punch. She can't stand up and punch.
Well,
Like shoulder.
But that's why Rainbow Dash has been really fun because she's got wings. So we figured, look, let's give her a pose. So she can do that sort of. She's got her arms free at all times.
Yeah.
Well, arms. That's the thing. They're legs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
legs.
Front leg.
But she treats them like arms. But of course, there's a problem with that because in Street Fighter and stuff, you've got these huge, powerful characters, and our characters don't even have shoulders.
They don't have shoulders.
Yeah.
So they
So you've
can't
got
do these
little
massive.
stretchy,
That's
kind
right,
of
so-
marshmallowy limbs,
Yeah, so
shooting
it's-
straight forward.
So we have these big ideas sometimes. We go, oh, it'd be like that massive punch. We want to get that power in that, and we try and animate it, and it just doesn't work because
Yeah.
there's no
There's
movement.
no shoulders. You
So we
can't-
have to do lots of spins or something. So
Yeah,
RD
it's gotta make it,
evolved
like,
into spins.
dynamic and cartoony, and
Mm.
it just all works out. But there's a lot of attention to detail, for sure.
Yeah, maybe
Maybe
too much.
Yeah, but maybe too much.
I look at it on the video, I'm like, there's about 3 frames there that no one's ever gonna see. It took me like half a day. Oh man. But yeah, it's pretty fun.
But you know, speaking of like characters who are, you know, like Rainbow Dash or specific challenges to animation, like certain characters seem like are kind of hard to adapt. Like you guys talk all the time about how hard it was for Fluttershy, you know, trying to work something for her. It seems for Rarity, like you guys have been going through some changes a bunch in terms of what she's going to be like. You know, what makes a character, like in general for a fighting game, what makes a character like to adapt it? Like what makes it easier or harder? Like is there something about Rarity that makes her more difficult than like, you know, say Applejack, you know? Is it just the ideas?
Well, Applejack and Rainbow Dash would always make sense as close-range fighters, and a lot of, you know, games have a focus on close-range fighters, but you also have zoners. So we do have, you know, we have a space for those types of characters, the turtles, zoners, like Rarity, or for example Fluttershy, who doesn't really fight in the show. But Fluttershy did have kind of a wild side in the show as well, which helped us to kind of develop what her fighting style would incorporate.
Yeah, true.
Because you got to remember that we started this way through season 1?
Yeah.
Like
I'd like
late, like early
Medium-ish
Yeah.
through.
Wow, when was that?
Yeah.
May?
Yeah, it was like May or
I
June.
thought
I
you
don't
guys
know when
started.
that was.
Season 1 ended in the beginning of May. I think I started in late May. So.
Oh, we might have just hit the tail end of it.
Yeah,
probably.
which is the first time Fluttershy did go crazy.
That's right. So a lot of it we're like, well, we don't want to do sort of one-off references
Yeah.
too much. But then we thought, well, the writers obviously feel that that's something that they want to do with it. Like, you know, Fluttershy had a couple of
Rage
more
moments.
confidence moments.
She has
in
her
season
moments.
2, yeah, and Pinkie Pie they've sort of hinted at the fact she's a little bit unstable in the other seasons as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess when it comes to sort of like, we're going back to Rarity, I guess, or make the character harder or easier to adapt. I mean, I guess Applejack and Rainbow Dash kind of, you see, it's pretty obvious what they're going to do.
Yeah.
You know, they're both quite aggressive. They'd get in there. They don't need to sort of hang back.
Was
or
it
do
tied to like
tricks.
their personalities, you
Yeah.
think?
Oh, definitely.
Definitely.
It's heavily
Otherwise,
Heavily
it doesn't have to be
personalized.
ponies at all.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So we definitely make them feel like Applejack's doesn't really shy away. There's nothing that pushes you away apart from the buck, and you use that to kind of really hurt them.
Yeah.
And because she bucks apples, obviously, I mean that's pretty obvious. It's going to be an apple buck. But we thought, well, how do we get people close?
Yeah.
So we pull the rope. And Rainbow Dash, how do you get people close? Who cares? You get to
fly.
them.
You get to them.
Yeah, you're the projectile. And for Rarity, I mean, we went through a few changes especially from our initial draft.
Different magic system. You change your super
Yep,
at this point.
exactly. Just because sometimes things don't work out. They sound really good,
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
think, why doesn't this work?
On paper, it sounds
Yeah,
okay. You put
she's
it in,
a-
it's like,
She's a type of zoner that, you know, controls the entire screen.
Screen.
That kind of thing can easily, you know, break a character or make it just not as fun or engaging to play.
yeah.
And then of course if you take away all her powers to control the entire screen, then
It's
it becomes
just-
too complicated, and you're like, well, I don't want to press
underpowered.
9 buttons to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we finally reached the
Perfect zone.
yeah the perfect zone for the zoner.
Close. We've still got a couple moves to go.
There's still a couple things we're going to touch upon.
But yeah.
A couple new things we've got under ropes.
For some people who may not know, these guys talk a lot about Fighter Maker having issues, and just briefly touch upon like what makes things so difficult
And
for development.
I mean, one of my favorite sayings about the engine is that we're trying to build a mech out of a cardboard box. we're using really simple shapes that this this program provides from 2002, like really old fighting games, and trying to make a fresh and new experience that it just wasn't really intended for, and because of that, we run into problems pretty much at every step of the way. But overcoming it's a lot of fun, and it requires you to be creative, and I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely a lot of problem solving involved, which is It is fun, and also, I mean, we obviously wouldn't have a game without the engine.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it saves a lot of time.
Yeah, we literally can't write a single character in the engine in terms of programming. That's how light the programming is.
We have logic people,
Yeah, it's
not
just
actual
logic
coders.
gates.
So it's lots of ands and ors and stuff like that, which you don't even have that.
And math and
Very limited amount of variables, but it sort of helped us keep us grounded as well, because if our ideas are really big, it'd be great to put them in, but if we really want them and we can figure out a way,
we're gonna have to work for
then
it.
we work for it, and it's really satisfying to have them work
Even
in something that no one's ever done before.
Even
in the
really
engine.
simple things like having Rainbow Dash turn around when she passes a character, that required
In the air,
hours of work, and then I had to turn all of the aerial attacks around and all kinds of stuff like that.
So you'd think if you had a character here and they jumped
Yeah.
over, this one would turn around, because this one does,
Yeah.
but it doesn't. It keeps going that way, and because it doesn't reset what direction you're facing until you land.
Oh.
And we can't even begin to talk about the having Pinky able to eat her own object.
Oh. Imagine that's complicated.
That was a huge math problem that Lead had to hop in on.
It's been awesome.
It's amazing.
It's amazing what you guys been doing with this engine.
Teamwork that comes to life when it's required.
Even the simplest of things can have the most amazingly complicated solutions that people will never ever know about.
It's also kind of our only option. I mean, we've got Mugen, however you want to say it. But it's very similar.
Up until recently, you didn't have an online client.
Well, a viable online client.
Mugen, that is.
Yeah.
I heard that it had something, but
but we'd have similar problems with that too. We know it's limited. I
Well,
think you're allowed to get in there a bit more and tinker. That's the only difference.
Yeah, but
we don't know how to tinker, so.
Yeah, that was just one of the main things when we first started the project. We wanted everyone to be able to play each other, no matter where they are.
Yep, we needed
So
online.
if there was no online, there's probably not gonna be any motivation.
There's no point. Yeah, if you
That
can't
was
play,
the big problem
play
for
your
Pony
friends.
Card. People were worried about the online and that.
Yeah.
They worked something out, so it's
Yeah,
good that
yeah.
you guys were considered from the beginning. So
Yeah, the multiplayer experience is that's the 99% of a fighting game.
It's everything.
Playing the CPU is like,
Especially in
you
this
might
day and
learn
age.
one or two things.
Yeah.
You need to play
And
it.
it is. It's awesome to. It's always best to go to a local scene and build up there, but some people literally don't have that that opportunity. I mean, it costs money, and you need you need a ride, etc.
I'm one
And
of those
online
people.
just removes and online just removes all those problems.
Yeah. Now, one question kind of similar is just more like, because of the limitations of FireMaker, like, sometimes some mechanics have changed. Like, the magic system, like, was born probably because I heard you guys couldn't do react
Because of a
attacks.
problem.
Yeah.
With my keyboard,
Well, yeah.
and a couple other
couple
testers.
keyboards. The engine is extremely inconsistent with keyboards in terms of hitting two buttons at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
like in Street Fighter, you have a fireball or something, quarter circle,
Forward,
one button.
And if you use two buttons, you do like an EX or.
Yeah.
That's right. So you
super.
sort of power it up, and we thought that we definitely want to have something like
Let's
that
just
where
do
you
the
can power
basic
it up.
stuff, the basics.
And then I realized that I
It's
think
like
did we make a throw? I think it was a throw or something.
Yeah, we
that
tried to
had
have
Throws
two
with two
buttons.
just a
buttons.
classic
Yeah.
two-button throw instead of the forward punch, and I was like, I can't do them, and I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not a dumb guy. Like I was like, I'm not like rolling the keys or anything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And even I changed the sensitivity and all that sort of stuff, and it was just my keyboard could not do two buttons. But just in FighterMaker, like other programs, the same two buttons would work fine. It would register. So there's some weird connectivity compatibility issue. It's an old program with certain USB keyboards and FighterMaker. All the PS2 keyboards worked fine that I had. So same computer.
It's a good
So we
example.
figure if that's one person on our team that couldn't do it, that might represent.
You get that saves you 1,000 angry emails.
Yeah,
Yes.
if that's 10% of people that cannot do a throw in our game, that's horrible. And then of course, or they couldn't do an EX move, that's also horrible. I mean, the difference is that we could have had both in, like a quarter circle both buttons or a quarter circle magic button. But as of course Nappy pointed out, that means someone might have a slight advantage.
Yeah,
It's easier to
with
press
fighting
two than
games,
one.
the input themselves are part of the startup, and they're set that way because of the way the move works, etc. You kind of roll into the fireball. It's it's an offensive.
It's natural.
move. Yeah, and because you're doing a forward motion, you're not blocking.
Yeah.
And that stuff like that is very important. you know, if you just have the strongest throw attack in the game be, you know, just one button, you do like a Zangief.
Oh man.
I mean, they actually did that before.
Yeah.
In what is it, CS2,
Mm-hmm.
with the C-stick. You can see examples of why, you know,
That's a
certain
bad
moves
idea.
are not just one button.
Mm-hmm.
They have these motions for very good reasons, and you know, we designed around that.
Within the limits of the
Yeah.
engine, yeah.
Yeah.
Because of limitations.
It's due to give more
we had to
depth
innovate.
to the skill.
But you're absolutely right. Because of that, we were just going to have, like, you know, Twilight had a magic spark, and then she had a super magic spark. Done, easy.
Yeah.
And then we couldn't do that. We thought, well, what are we going to do then? A whole nother button? We thought, okay, why not? How does that work? I don't know. Give them another resource. Give them another resource, and that's how the magic meter came out. And that gave us even more customization for each character, because we thought, okay, so not only do they have their supers and their normals,
We also have magic.
they also have magic, so we can now, and we can do something completely different. It's not just enhancing regular moves sometimes. Sometimes it's a whole new thing.
Yeah, sometimes it's your whole other half of your moveset. Like
Sometimes it's very integral.
Mm-hmm.
And of course we get to control because we get to control how magic refills. It's not just like super meter where you hit your opponent and get hit.
Yeah.
We can have magic refill however we want. So, you know, Pinky has a certain amount of ammo per round. Done.
Which increases even more, gives even more variety to, you know, between the characters.
That's
Yeah.
right. So she's not using a super meter for it. So you can do it straight away if you want, you know?
Yeah.
Or some people fill up slowly throughout the match, or you have to do other moves to fill it up. So we can get control over that too. So it's made it more complicated, but given us more options as well to making moves.
It's that extra layer for the more advanced players if they want to go into that, but you know.
So yeah, it was a mistake. It was a limitation that turned into and turned into something we really like. It makes our game unique, hopefully.
Yeah. Speaking of the advanced players, just something I want to clarify. That's probably something worth clarifying. It's just that there's some things that probably aren't set in stone, like because like you just now added tech rolling to the game, and you know, like you have certain maxims that may or may not. Certain decays you have, but like, you know, what about like gravity, or what about, you know, other types of decay? Like there are other things that you probably have to work on. You know, can you guys just clarify, like, are there things that's still in progress, things that will change? Are the maxims still going to be the same in the final build, you know?
Yeah, the maxims have changed a lot over time. Just as you play, you get a feel of how ridiculous the combos are getting.
And watching
Yeah.
the tournaments and stuff,
Yeah.
that sort of stuff.
We do want to keep them fun, but also compact. You know,
Fun,
it can't-
creative, but compact.
It can't be too long or boring for the player who's getting
It's
hit
it's
by
a
it.
two-player
Yeah.
game. You know, you don't want to just have one player hit once and then you watch a movie for like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
He accidentally drops it, but you don't notice because you weren't paying attention anymore. And then he continues with another combo.
And then of course you can't make the matches last too long because they're boring, and you can't make them be too quick.
Or fill up the timer. So.
I've seen this movie before, combo.
Yeah, it's really hard. It's really hard. So that's probably where Nappy comes in mainly. He's the general feedback from the testers. But of course, everyone who plays the game is a tester.
And there's always balancing changes going on for characters and such. As well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We're trying to make sure that every character has a viable, at least some small viable option to fight every other character, at least within the main 6 pool at first. So we can start with a strong base, because when it comes down to balance, it's all about options.
Okay, I'm gonna wrap this up with just a couple quick questions. What are you guys' favorite fighting games that you guys like to play, you know, personally? Just, I'm sure that's something everyone wants to know, you know. What do you guys play?
For you?
Oh, I play a little of everything. I have a soft spot for like Melty Blood, Skullgirls, and let's see, Smash Bros. Melee.
Okay.
So.
Skullgirls project actually has been a huge inspiration.
Oh,
yeah,
has it?
Skullgirls.
Just
I
because
really-
it feels like
it's
we
another
know what
good-
they're going
I
through.
respect the developers of that game so much. And
They've done so much.
Yeah.
And they've had an
Mike
actual
C
game
is a
that you can
genius,
buy.
and, I love hearing him talk about game design, because I mean I feel like we have some similar ideas.
They're really knowledgeable on some of the best aspects and know really where to hit right.
Yeah.
Especially with their infinite protection system and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
It's just I don't know.
They know what they're doing.
They know what they're doing, but things are holding them back outside of their control, and you can feel the frustration.
Yeah.
It's really unfortunate.
Yeah, and we're kind of lucky because we don't have that because we have no financial.
Yeah, there's no money.
There's no money. There's no money.
We put a lot of time
They just
into it,
kinda
you
do
know.
it.
Yeah, yeah. So we're a bit luckier in that respect, but yeah, it's been a huge inspiration. As for fighting games I actually like MVC3. It sounds kind of modern and not very cool to say.
I would.
Skullgirls is very modern.
Yeah, I know I would love MVC3, but I just don't have the system.
Yeah, and I'm no good at any fighting games really. I just enjoy them, and I really like MVC3 just with its excitingness and just how fun it is.
I'm actually more of a RTS or dungeon crawler kind of guy, but the fighting games I really enjoy are the Persona series. Recently,
Persona's
awesome. Recently, Street Fighter Arcade Edition because of how perfectly balanced it is, and I really appreciate good balance.
Yeah, the finals of was it Evo?
Yeah.
All different characters except for like what was it, like 2 Ryus or something?
Yeah. Like top 16 and 15 characters or something ridiculous.
That is just
awesome.
So it means people get to play what they want.
They had some troubles at first with Street Fighter 4, but they really got
they smoothed it out. They smoothed it out. It was great, and I've also been playing some Melty Blood recently, so I really like that as well. I really like anime fighters actually. I guess.
But there's huge influence from all of them, not just how the moves work and stuff, but things like, wouldn't it be cool if we had a top 8 and there was at least one of each main 6 in it? Wouldn't that be great?
That'd be awesome.
That'd be the ultimate. And we're in charge of that, really. We have to try to figure that out. And why is Street Fighter? Why does that work?
What makes it so popular?
How can you pick the person you like, not the person who's going to win? It'd be awesome if people could make that choice and go, I love Rarity, I'm going to play it.
Yeah.
Rather than I love Rarity, but she sucks.
Yeah.
No one ever saying that. So we're trying.
Okay, just one last question. I know a lot of fan projects and others that really look up to you guys because of, just, you guys, surprisingly, I know a lot of people say, like, you're going so slow and you're taking your time, but you guys have actually done a lot of more progress than a bunch of other fan projects I know.
Yeah.
But they all look up to you because you guys are so big. I'm curious, do you guys follow any other fan games or projects that you want to, like, give shout-outs to, or,
Well, we are kind of going slow, but...
Yeah, we are going pretty darn slow.
But that's okay.
Shout-outs to Ponycart, to My Little Investigations,
for
for Legends of Equestria, all those awesome games. Keep doing what they're doing because it actually brings our motivation levels up too to see
that other projects are surviving.
Yeah.
It's always sad to see one go, and it happens all the time.
It's the classic. You have late night talks with your friends like, wouldn't it be cool if we made a game with blah blah blah?
Yeah.
And that's it. But then now it's sort of getting to the stage, and something about the show. I don't know what it is about My Little
something
Pony.
about the show makes people want to get
that
creative
really inspired people
and
to create.
actually start trying to do it.
I really don't know what it is, but it's done it for so many people that there must be something there.
It's magic.
It's magic. It is magic, and it's so cool to see things even starting. And what I'm looking forward to, probably Ponycart the most.
Yeah, Ponycart. I'm gonna play all
Just
kinds.
because I love that genre.
To it too.
I love that genre.
Yeah.
So I mean, I
Very
can't wait
fun.
to see what they've done.
Okay, well, thanks for your time, guys.
Cool.
Nice and